With the addition of electrical assistance, electric mountain bikes, better known as E-MTBs, have opened up the sport to a whole new range of riders. But selecting your first E-MTB can be a daunting experience due to the sheer volume of options on offer. So we've headed up to the Victorian High Country with the 3 most popular options that you'll likely find on your search for an E-MTB. We'll take you through the features of each bike, the terrain that they're designed to shine on, and give you a better idea of what to expect from each bike. E-MTBs are exploding in popularity. They open up mountain biking to a broader market, removing the fitness and mobility barriers that have previously discouraged many riders from the sport. Removing the uphill struggle simply means that you can pack more riding into each day, and that's winning over many critics. The heart of an E-MTB is its motor. Key industry players like Bosch, Shimano, Brose and Yamaha have all developed motors specific to mountain bike riding and are all optimised for trail use. You'll find these high-end drive systems on most E-MTBs. Depending on the manufacturer, you'll likely get a range of assistance levels, from low output for downhill flow to punchier high output modes for clambering up steep pinches. Because of the extra force put on the bike by the motor, high stress areas like the chain, cassette, crankset and brakes are beefier than those found on a traditional mountain bike. Wheels require a similar upgrade and are often reinforced with extra spokes and stronger rims, all wrapped in wider tyres for extra grip so that the power from the motor is properly utilised. Finally, frame sets are typically aluminium, though carbon fibre is beginning to trickle down into more affordable packages. Both materials enable manufacturers to shape the frame around the drive system's components, namely the motor and the battery. Just as a quick note on batteries, you won't find batteries specific for e-mountain biking, but you'll probably have the choice between external or integrated batteries. External batteries are cheaper and more convenient for charging, but if you plan on taking your bike downhill a lot, you'll likely want an integrated battery for its additional security. With the addition of the drive system, batteries and reinforced components, E-MTBs are often heavier than a traditional mountain bike. The good news is that most of the weight is down low, which makes it excellent for downhill stability. With their increased popularity has come increased specialisation, as manufacturers cater to different terrain and styles of riding. The 3 most popular categories are hardtails, trail/all mountain bikes and enduro bikes. Hardtail E-MTBs are designed around a wallet-friendly price point and often have a focus on usability. Often kitted out with between 100 to 150 mm of travel at the fork, these bikes can handle mild trails, but the lack of rear suspension limits the terrain that they'll flourish on. So this means that you shouldn't take these down any black diamonds or downhill runs, they're more at home on fire roads. The good news is that there's plenty of those around. Geometry on a hardtail E-MTB will likely be slacker than that of a traditional hardtail. If you're new to bike geometry, think of it like this. Steep geometry has angles at the head tube and seat tube closer to 90 degrees. This puts the rider in an upright position and makes pedalling easier. However, if we slacken those angles, the wheelbase, reach and stack stretch out and put the rider in a more aggressive position, making pedaling slightly trickier but giving a little bit more stability and balance. Keep in mind that that's an oversimplification, but it lets us understand the basic characteristics of any given frame. Hardtail E-MTB frames, like the frames of all e-bikes, are slacker than their analogue equivalents, for better stability, compensating for the extra weight of the drive system and battery. However, they remain on the steeper end of the spectrum within the E-MTB field, because at the end of the day, they're designed for longer rides where you're mostly in the saddle pedaling. On the other end of the spectrum, Enduro E-MTBs are designed specifically for gnarlier trails. Like their traditional equivalents, they can handle big drops, uncharted terrain, and much more technical features on the trail. But with the added electrical assistance, this makes the ups almost as thrilling as the downs. Geometry reveals an intention for stability, particularly around descending. The wheelbase is much longer than the hardtail category, thanks to a more relaxed head tube of around 65 degrees. The suspension at the fork and frame will often have travel ranging from 160 to 180 mm, nullifying most downhill obstacles, and the longer reach allows the rider to get in a lower, more aggressive position on technical descents, enabling better balance and handling. Dropper seat posts are an essential addition, allowing a rider to quickly move and shift their weight around on the bike on technical descents. They can be raised again for climbing, which remains easy thanks to a powerful drive system combined with a relatively steep seat tube angle. Moving to the contact points, and bars over 750mm wide are commonplace, as are super short stems, which allow for more direct handling on the trail. Stopping power is also beefed up with powerful 4-piston brakes. When mated with large rotors ranging from 180 to 203mm in diameter, these provide an extraordinary amount of braking force that's easily modulated. Tyre widths would typically range from 2.3 inches to 2.8 inches wide, with wheel sets almost exclusively set up tubeless. Tubeless tyres are favoured in mountain biking circles thanks to the lower pressures that they allow, increasing the contact patch and allowing more aggressive tyres to grip the trail more efficiently. Boost spacing is also in play on most, if not all, Enduro e-mountain bikes on the market. Boost spacing means wider axle widths, both front and rear, which basically gives the ability to run wider tyres than a frame would typically allow. Like their analogue equivalents, trail and all-mountain E-MTBs are designed to be versatile. They sit in between the more sedate hardtail and more aggro enduro categories. They're quite at home with non-technical trails, but they also flourish in more technical descents. The geometry again reflects versatility. Not quite as slack as an enduro bike, but not quite as steep as a hardtail. Expect head tube angles to be slack in general, but not to the degree of an enduro bike, with a long wheelbase for stability. C-tube angles will be on the steeper side, around 74 to 75 degrees for ease of pedalling. The reach will also be long, placing the rider in an extended position on the bike, increasing control when attacking the trail. Looking at the componentry, the build kit will typically mirror that found on a traditional trail bike, save for stiffer cranks, wheels and brakes to deal with the increased braking forces and weight on board. Suspension travel ranges between 140 to 160mm both at the fork and at the frame, and dropper seat posts are again essential. If you're in the market for an E-MTB, as always, the question you'll need to ask yourself is, what type of trails am I going to ride? Your safest bet is a trail or all-mountain bike. These will give you the flexibility to ride almost the entire spectrum of trails you're likely to come across. However, if you're looking for a beefy commuter or the occasional bit of mild single track, a hardtail is probably going to suit you best and save you some money. On the other hand, if all you want to do is fly uphill and bomb back down the trail, then you won't regret an Enduro e-mountain bike. If you've got all the information you need and you're ready to pull the trigger in your own electric mountain bike, you'll find a wide range of E-MTBs right here at BikeExchange. If you've got this far through the video and think E-MTBs aren't for you, then check out our other videos on traditional mountain bike categories. So that's it. Now that you're caught up to speed, we hope that you've got all the information you need to make an informed buying decision. We hope you enjoyed the video, so don't forget to like and subscribe for more bike content courtesy of us here at BikeExchange.